According to a recent paper published in the American Political Science Review, historically, the spread of public education in places like Europe and Latin America wasn't primarily about promoting literacy or economic development. Instead, it often followed violent internal conflicts and was implemented by authoritarian, non-democratic regimes not to empower but to control. The expansion of primary education has historically followed periods of intense social unrest and conflict, and it was mainly used as a tool to control the masses, instill obedience, and prevent future rebellion. To put this theory to the test, the author analyzed data from 40 countries across Europe and Latin America, spanning almost 2 centuries from 1828 to 2015. The findings show a clear pattern. Primary education coverage increased following internal conflicts, like civil wars, when the ruling elite felt most vulnerable. For instance, following the Chilean War in 1859, the Chilean government prioritized expanding primary schools in regions that had recently rebelled. A calculated, tactical attempt to instill obedience and respect for authority among the young in these areas, shaping future generations to be less inclined toward dissent. In Prussia, in turn, considered a pioneer in modern schooling, which heavily influenced other national education systems around the world, the curriculum was deliberately crafted to keep rural children content with their place in society. The purpose was not to educate them toward upward mobility, but to prepare them to accept their position and not question societal roles. But this strategy isn't confined to authoritarian regimes or distant history, because there is evidence that in the early United States, after uprisings like Shays' Rebellion, leaders saw education as a tool to maintain social order. More recently, following the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, several states moved to implement patriotic education laws, aiming to limit discussions of so-called divisive concepts. So, rather than addressing these issues directly, this approach, much like historical examples, seems aimed at controlling the narrative, limiting students' exposure to social injustices, and maintaining order by discouraging critical questioning of the established system. So if history and data show that education systems are often used to manage dissent following unrest, it raises a critical question: why should we believe that in other periods the goals of education are any different? Are schools really designed to empower us, or are they, at their core, tools for shaping a compliant society?
The Beats.